Uh-oh. There we go. All right. It's recording.
Okay. Woo! Okay.
Continue. I can hear you.
Okay. Awesome. I like your purple status jersey, Tess. Okay, so we're going to continue. What?
Intentional.
Oh, yes. I figured. I love that. Fight for it. Okay, we're going to keep talking a little bit about sponsoring, like how we talked about last week. We don't have a ton to talk about, but I wanted to continue that conversation. And we also will have a lot of new elites listening in to the recording and stuff. And so, yay, welcome to all of our new leaders. That's super exciting. And I would love for all of our current leaders to try to think of your top one or two tips or little bits of advice that you could pass on to our brand new leaders, and we could kind of share them collectively. I think that'd be kind of fun. Okay, so think about that. Okay, so sponsoring. Today we're going to be talking about, last week we talked about like our mindset for ourselves, and we talked about the scoring system, you know, rating ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10 and how confident we feel in offering our opportunity and things like that, and how the law of attraction plays into that. We can never sponsor somebody who is higher than ourselves, at least not intentionally. And so we only attract those who are at our level or below. And so if we're not feeling confident, then we're attracting people who are also not feeling confident and not going to have that energy and spark that we're looking for our business. So we talked about that. And we talked about, you know, how important it is to elevate that number and elevate our mindset and our confidence. This week, we're going to be talking about, oh, and by the way, that really quick, hold on, side trail. That scoring thing, I tried to like kind of keep it in mind all week, and I used it for other things, like, you know, how do I feel, what's my score 1 to 10 in this or that, you know, my parties or in whatever. And it was really good. It was kind of like eye-opening to score yourself that way, you know, and honestly evaluate where you're at and then where you want to be. And obviously you want to be a 10 in all of these things. And so anyway, that might be something you want to do, or just kind of keep in the back of your mind. I felt like it was a useful tool for myself. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about other people and the people that we are targeting. And this, I was surprised when I was researching this and learning about this and taking Doug's classes and stuff. I felt like I was having a lot of my like current knowledge or current belief system kind of shifted a little bit. So I don't know if you will as well, but that was what I was experiencing. So we've, you know, been told it's a numbers game. Obviously it's relationship based, which absolutely is 100% true. But you know, we've been told it's a numbers game, and it's the 20-80 rule, and 1% of these people will just do it no matter what, and so on and so forth, right? And so it's kind of like you just offer your opportunity to every single person out there, and if you offer it to enough people, you're gonna happen upon that, you know, those couple of people who are for your business, this is the right opportunity for them. And Deb challenged us and said, you know, that mindset where everybody is your target, that mindset keeps us stuck. And I was like, oh, wait, really? Like, I totally do that, you know, like, sure, yeah, I'll just throw it out there for everybody and sow the seeds and see what happens. And she said that mindset keeps us stuck. Everybody is not actually our target. This opportunity is maybe not for everybody, or it's not the right time for everybody. And if we can figure out who our target is, then we can be much more efficient with our sponsoring and our conversations and so on. And then the numbers game, which it is a numbers game, but the numbers game changes. And that was really interesting. So I'm going to get into that in a minute. But doing the whole, like, you know, just tell every single person, you know, that's exhausting. And sometimes, and especially for our lower, you know, level presenters, that can feel frustrating fast. I told 300 people in the last 2 years, and here I am, you know, I'm still at yellow, or I'm still at pink, or I'm still at blue. And that's frustrating to them. That's exhausting to them. So well, let's try to shift our mindset a little bit. What we want to be doing is teaching our presenters to interact with everybody with the intention of finding those people that are the perfect match. This is the right fit for them. So yes, we want to interact with everybody, but we don't necessarily want to target everybody for our sponsoring. Every person has value, and we know this, and we talk about this all the time. And I had like a little moment of pride when I was in this training, you know, because it's a multi-company training. And so, you know, she was like, everybody has value and they are worth building a relationship. And I was like, holla, because I think we nailed that one. You know, we are really good at building relationships and teaching our teams to build relationships. But it's true. I loved the way she said that. Everyone has value, so they're worth building a relationship with. I just loved that saying, right? That little phrase right there. If we're giving of ourselves first, as in we are building that relationship, we're coming from a service, you know, a servant's heart, a service standpoint, then they're going to be more open to wanting to hear more about something or to share more about something, right? How often do we, you know, somebody just like people at my door, people come to my door all the time and they open the door, or I open the door, and they're like, you know, solar panels or the vacuums or whatever it is. And it's just this immediate onslaught, right? And it shuts you down because you feel like you're not investing in me at all. I don't want to give you anything, you know? So I could totally relate to that. So let's move to the 80-20 thing. The 80-20 rule, we always say that, you know, 80% of the people are either not going to be interested. If we're talking about sponsoring, they're not going to be interested. 20% will be interested. And then 1% are supposed to be like your go-getters that are going to shoot to the top, right? Well, turns out that number is broken down just a little bit more. So yes, 80% are not really interested. It's just not the right fit for them. It's not the right match. Maybe that would change at some point. So that's why you still want to be what's that word?
Intentional.
Intentional. Thank you. Intentional about building those relationships. But the 20% is broken down. So the 20% is broken down into 17% and 3%. 17% of that 20% are curious, but they're not ready. So those are your people who will say, you know, they'll ask you a couple of questions, but they won't take action. Or, you know, they'll always be kind of there commenting on things or interacting with you, but they're not ready. It's just not the right time for them. 3% are going to be like, yes, absolutely, sign me up. This is everything I've ever wanted. You need to stay connected with the 80%, like we said. 17%, they might get more serious. So you want to stay connected with them even more. Those are people who are really in your warm market. That's when they've moved into your warm market, when they're in that 17%. So in our markets, we have cold, warm, and hot. The cold market is people that we don't really have a relationship with. They're either people you've met, you know, I don't know, people you've added on Facebook or, you know, random customers that have come to your website, things like that. Like they're just, you have no relationship with them at all. Just that's your cold market. Your warm market are people that you have started to build a relationship with. So there's some sort of networking, or they are interested in like what you're doing. Maybe they're interested in cosmetics and you've started to build a relationship. They're a little bit warmer. And then your hot market is, those are people that you have a good relationship with and they are like, this is clearly what they need, you know? So the cold market, that's where that 80%, 17%, and 3% rule, that's where that fits. So that means out of 100 people that you talk to in your cold market, 3 of them it'll be for them. They'll say, yes, absolutely, sign me up. Now, out of the 3%, and this is where it gets really kind of crazy, out of the 3%, less than 1% of those people, so those 3 people, less than 1% of those people will be like an ideal match for you and your business.
Dang.
Right? Like, oh, okay. In the warm market, when you've started building relationships, 80% will still say no. That's still the number. And I mean, these are averages, you know, so they might fluctuate a little between people or different seasons. 10% will say maybe. They will be those, like, I want to hear more about this. They're going to be the warm. The people that are saying it's interesting, but I'm not yet. And then 10% will say yes. So that 3% goes up to 10%. So out of 100 people you message in your warm market, 10% are going to say, yes, this is it. I'm ready. 10% of the people who say yes, so there's that one, that's going to be your ideal match for you and your business. So that's really good compared to like the third of a person or less that we had in the first one, right? Way better. In the hot market, 80% will still say no. They'll still say not a match, no thank you. 20% will say yes. And 100% of those 20 will be ideal matches.
Dang.
Yeah. So what we need to figure out is what is our hot market? What's our target market? And that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. So you figure out, and write it down, make a list, and maybe make a list of 10 actual people you could think of that you think would be ideal. Like how we talk about like your dream team, write those people down and then start dissecting them. How old are they? Where do they live? What's their like education or their job history, their experience level? What are their interests? Do they have children? All the demographic type stuff. Write all that down. Then you're going to want to also analyze like what are their pain points? Are they wanting free time? Do they need more money? Are they strapped, struggling to check to pay their bills? Are their kids going to college and they need to help pay for college? Do they just want something for themselves? Maybe they have kids in elementary school and they just need something for themselves during the day. Maybe it's friendships or community or a purpose, so being a part of something bigger. Maybe it would have something to do with the Unique Foundation. Whatever that might be, figure out what their pain points are. What is the problem that they have that we are trying to offer a solution for, which we've talked about that 100,000 times with our teams too. But once you have that list of things that qualify people, that list is describing who your ideal business partner or your ideal sponsoree is going to be. Okay, and that's how we can kind of keep that in mind, and it'll shift our mindset when we're going into these conversations so that we are using different language. Our communication will be totally different so that we will be speaking to them in a way that they can hear, in a way that is more receptive. So I think that's about it. It was really short and small today, short and to the point. Oh, and positive. So when you're making your list, also write down like any of their positive characteristics. If they're patient or organized or, any of those types of things. What are their skills and gifts and talents? Write all that down. And then that's going to give you that list where you're going to look at it and say, wow, okay, almost all of my dream team, they're all between the ages of 30 and 55, and they all have children, and they all stay at home or work part-time and want to stay at home or whatever, and you're going to get a picture of what your target market is, and then that's who you go after. And then you don't have to spin your wheels anymore with everybody, right? So that's it. That's all I wanted to share. What would you guys say? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, can you repeat your hot market statistic that I didn't write down?
Yeah, totally. 80% will say no. And then 20% will say yes. So instead of like the 17% and the 10%, all 20% should say yes. And 100% of those 20 will be a good match. So that's what we're trying to build is, okay, how do we find that hot market?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Warm market can turn into hot. Remember that. So warm market is just as important, but we really need to not spend so much time on the cold market. Really, it's just, if they come, then great, but
Yeah.
It's like me. Yeah. So it was interesting stuff. Okay, do you guys have questions about anything else?
I don't think so, but I would say that based on This morning, I was actually thinking about the statistics of my own team, not even knowing that you're going to be doing this, looking back at everybody that I've signed, like from the beginning, and then applying this idea in my head. It's very much the people that were pulled from like my hot market that are the ones that have kind of stuck around this whole time, with the exception of a couple, right? There's a couple that maybe were a cold market, maybe from a party, and then ended up sort of in warm market through like hosting a party or something, and then ended up, from warm market to joining to hot market because of the relationship we built. And I think that that's probably a good point, is that just because somebody's in your warm market once they sign up, because I feel like it's the hot market people even on your team that are the ones that are going to start flourishing. So if you can move somebody from your warm market to your hot market, the minute they join your team, you start working in that way to like build that relationship, they're more likely to succeed. So I think there's like that weird piece too.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I was thinking about it too, like just like as a whole, okay, I've been doing this for almost 3 years. So what has my sponsoring looked like in those 3 years? And I thought, wow, yeah, in the beginning, exactly. It was so much stronger, and like the energy was there, it was so high. And you could tell, like, oh my gosh, this is made for them. They were made for this. And now I'm dealing much more with a cold market, and so it's definitely become more of a struggle and a frustration. I can totally feel myself, like my wheels are spinning, and I thought, okay, if I wanted to sponsor 3 people this month and I am only working in my cold market, I would need to, and just to sponsor 3 people, not to say they're going to do anything, right? I would need to message 100 people.
Yep.
So, and then if I want to take the chance that they'll do something with it, and it's less than 1% chance for those 3 people, I mean, we're talking thousands of people that I would have to be messaging, I thought, oh my gosh, no wonder, that's frustrating. And you think about like a yellow or pink Strauss presenter who they're probably not even messaging as many people, and they probably can go several months and be like, I've sponsored 1 person and they're not doing anything, and now I'm frustrated,
Or the opposite of, they're brand new, so their warm market is still pretty close, so they can sponsor like crazy at first, and then they're like, wait a minute, I can't sponsor anymore because they're only used to already having that comfortable market, and then like learning to like branch out past that is difficult.
Yes. Yeah. So if we can teach our teams early on, okay, you have this organic warm market. Hi, Haley. You have
Hi, sorry, I'm late.
warm market, that you're working with in a hot market, really, that's great. Go with it. And then what, and teaching them really early on, you have to take that cold market. It's important because that's how we get leads. That's lead generation, but then turning them into the others, and they can't just stay cold. You can't just add 10 friends a day and see what happens. You add 10 friends a day and then become their friend,
Yeah, you're better off friending 5 people in a month and being really intentional about your friendship than adding 10 people every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you'll see some of the girls that go totally viral, they sponsor a lot, but it'll take them years before they hit, that exclusive level or something. And it's because they're sponsoring a ton of people, but they're not the ones they're not that little tiny percent of yes, So yeah, it was interesting. And Taryn, you touched on a good point about once they're already signed on our team, they are still technically, we've talked about this a little bit, like they're still kind of in the wooing phase, like they're like, okay, I'll join and I'll check it out, but I'm not sure about it, And so really they're still in that warm marketplace where, like you said, we need to move them to hot market. We need to be nurturing them, like loving on them, holding their hand, like, okay, kind of helping them out there. Cause yeah.
I see a lot of that, like leaders or even just team members who will add people to their team, and then it's like they have the relief that they hit that join button, and so instead of nurturing the relationship, they're just like dropping these little like information nuggets at someone, and then they're no longer feeling connected to you. They're just being like, information is just being thrown at them instead of just cultivating relationship with the training. And I think it makes that can make a really huge difference.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Absolutely. So, yes. Awesome. Does anybody else have any input or ideas? Who's that? Oh, hey, Beth. How fun. It tells you who's joining now. No questions? No comments?
Guess not.
Okay. Well, then that's that. Okay, so yeah, that's it. If we don't have anything else to chat about, that's it. I do want to hear what your top tips are for our new leaders, okay? So those of you who have been in leadership for a while, I would love to hear top takeaway, okay?
Do you want the message to you or in a thread in leadership?
I'll make a thread in the leadership, and then because that way everyone who's not on the call yet or who hasn't watched the replay by that point can chime in. Hi.
And I'll load this to the YouTube page.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, Tess made a YouTube channel, right, with all the leader calls.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can go back and reference something or listen if you didn't catch it live or whatever.
From you though, like at least for the last 2 or 3, I need a description.
Oh yeah.
Add it. Look at all these people popping on.
We just finished. Hey, Ben. Sorry.
It's the end of the month. We have end of the month tips and tricks and happiness.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's blowing up. It's blowing up. How are you guys doing? Questions? Anything? Ideas?
I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm going to be doing the last push for Punakana points.
Yes, absolutely. I've been messaging every single person that comments or likes my live. I'm messaging every single one and saying like, hey, thanks so much for the support, and just little casual things like that. Love seeing your face pop up when I'm on there, whatever. And I think about half of them have ordered something just for the message. So that's been really cool. I was like, why haven't I been doing this all along?
Right?
So, yes, that would be one tip. And reaching out to everybody in my circle,
Haley, wait, what did she post? Haley just posted Ragsdale that somebody, another Black status, is doing a thing messaging people. I hope you're well. I'm reaching out to see if you would be interested in trying just one unique product. I'm currently running a raffle where all orders purchased gets you entered to win the unique cash. And right now it's at $100. I'm working on reaching a new level in the company. And with your support, I know I will crush it. Can I help you choose just one? And she says,
she can't do that.
but you can yourself give them another way to enter if you want to change the word.
I'm just throwing that out there for anybody who copies and pastes, like add something in because you're not supposed to do that.
Right. And she
sounds like a mystery host.
Right.
It is like a mystery host. And she said she's gotten about $800 in sales from it.
Cool. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of doing something similar, but talking about earning the trip and double points. So, hey, why not?
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I thought so. I was going to already be sitting and messaging people anyway, because kudos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I've upselled 2 collections to higher collections so that they can get all of the kudos. And that was exciting.
Awesome. Tell your team everything you guys are doing, every step of the way.
Yes.
That's what I try to do with my circle. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, or I tried that, and
Right.
Yeah, that's in style. So, okie dokie. Anything else? Melissa, Beth, you guys have any questions or comments or?
Hi, I unmuted myself for a second. I'm unloading groceries, so I'll have to catch it on the replay. I took the kids grocery shopping and no one rides in the cart anymore, so it's like hours long.
No worries. No worries at all.
So I'll catch the replay. I'll post questions.
Okay. Am I on mute?
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, I'm not on mute. Check that out. Okay, so what is that girl, like, I can't remember her name because I can't remember anything. I'm too old. What is she doing to sponsor? Holy cow.
Who?
Underneath Heather Napik.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Dagan?
Yes. Thank you. I wanted to keep saying Haley, but I know that's not it. No, I'm not doing video. Look at this. I'm packing.
That's all of us. Hello.
Please.
3 kids and myself. So what she
is going live every single night at 8 p.m. Every single night. Is it every night, Haley, or is it like 5 nights a week? Pretty much, she's going live every single night on her Facebook page. She always has like the same caption at top, and she's always encouraging people to share. She runs her entire business from her Facebook page. She hardly, like, she does some, like, a few giveaways and stuff in her customer group, but her whole thing is that she is like fully, like, her Facebook page is her business, and she is very, very, very consistent and very, very, very creative. So she will seek out like fun things to do with her makeup and like tell everyone, I'm going live tonight to do drag queen makeup. I'm going live tonight at 8 o'clock to show you these brows. I'm going live tonight at 8 o'clock to do this. And she creates like a funky graphic every single time. And you can catch her on live any night of the week and find out what she's doing. Like, honestly, if you want to see what she's doing, she'll off her time tonight and you can see exactly what she does.
She's also doing Business Tidbit Thursday in Looney today. So hop on and check it out. I don't know what time.
Okay, so do you guys practice the look before you do it live? Because that's my thing. Because I'll go live and I'm like, oh, how do I finish this? Oh. So I've got to, like there's a practice beforehand or whatever.
I don't, unless I'm going, going to have to be going somewhere and it's do or die and it could be really, really bad. I don't practice. And I find that a lot of the people that hop on seem to like that. They like kind of help me along with it sometimes, and they're like, try this or do that or whatever. And a lot of times I'll say, okay, first comment I see for, blue or black, that's what I'll go with. And then I'll just go with that. And for me anyway. And I've had a lot of people seem to really like that. And then afterwards, I always post a picture of the look and I can say, hey, thanks guys, like we did it. Or, it's like a team thing. I don't know. They seem to like it.
Awesome.
And I always warn them if I haven't done it, like this could be terrible. This is not a tutorial.
See, I guess that's what holds me up too. Because I'm like, I'm wanting to be able to do tutorial, but I'm like, no, I'm tutoring myself. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I don't know where we're going to go.
People love that. Melissa, you know how it is, like the either or. Like, give me your opinion, tell me what you think. People love that because everybody wants to say what their advice is, right? So if you're like, hey, I'm trying something new and I really need your help, like feel free to pop in and comment. Like, people are going to like that because then they like, oh, you should try this. Oh, you can do that. Oh, let me tell you how you need to do all your stuff. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Just do it. Just start with like your daily look,
This is the daily look. So let's.
Pretend daily look. Pretend daily look.
Your Sunday look. Start with your Sunday look.
If I didn't have kids look, okay?
Yeah. And survival, oh, evolution of the species kind of thing.
I get it. Survival of the fittest. I get it. I have a question for you guys. I want to do, lately, I feel like every few days I stumble across a presenter who, will say something like, oh, I'm struggling. I'm not, getting sales or whatever. Nothing's working. And I'll go look at their Facebook page and be like, oh, And so I'm thinking I want to do like a class, like I don't know, social media etiquette or something. Not like a how to build and get followers class, but like I don't know what it would be called. Just
How to not look like an idiot on the internet.
like how to present yourself online, you know? Because
And there's some girls who are really excelling on the teams. Like some girls, they really get that attraction marketing thing. They really get like what should be on there.
Yes. And
Those
some
are the
people,
really
it's the exact opposite. Like they truly do, that does not even cross their mind. So anyway, I want to do a class. I'm wondering if I should do it like in Looney or in a separate event. And if any of you guys would like to partner with me to do it, I don't know. I haven't decided any details. I'm just thinking, I think there's a need for this. Anybody have any thoughts or want to team up with me? Or know somebody who would want to team up with me? Beth? Okay. Beth's on board. Awesome.
Yeah, I can totally help as much as possible.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, sweet. Well, then let's do Beth, Melissa, and myself, and we'll get it going. The beautiful fridge, Beth. The beautiful fridge.
That was me on the last one, like in my fridge doing stuff.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right, is that it? Oh,
I feel so awkward looking at myself. Like I want to avoid mirrors at this point, like of the day.
There we go, guys. We'll see what we're
Oh, there you are, Melissa. I didn't even see you before.
Yeah.
You look beautiful. Don't be silly. A giant.
I am finding so many like people that just sponsored people like down there in the trickling of the company, and their sponsors are gone and stuff. And I'm trying to figure out how to handle, because that's a lot of people.
It is.
And I can't imagine.
It is a lot of people. Do one of those, like, what are you trying to figure out how to, like, get a hold of all of them and kind of rein them in so you can work with them, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Like I don't want people sitting down there and not having a clue how to get started, where to start, all that stuff.
Right. Okay. Well, besides tedious but super important job of going through and finding them all, in private messaging, you could do one of those, like, who's your mama posts, so that people see their family tree. Post their sponsor, and then their sponsor's sponsor. Who's your mom? Who's your grandma? And then that could help you find gaps, where they're like, oh, well, this person was my sponsor, but I don't think they are anymore, or whatever. Maybe that would help you find people that you're not sure or that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
You could do things like that. Obviously, enlist the help of anyone on your team. Tess, what do you think? You've had this happen. Is she still on there? Maybe she's gone.
I see that she's muted.
Oh, she's muted. Okay, maybe. Whoa. Okay. Anyone else have ideas on how to get a hold of people like that?
I like your idea, Devon. I think that what Melissa's talking about, that was part of my concern for, like, when we recently, like, Sherry did that whole big thing about, like, as soon as everybody's elite, give them the boot, and they're in their own group, and, like, I am 100% for that, but at the same time, it's like, like the person who signed me up is no longer doing Unique, which is fine, but it's like, it can be hard to find those people again and, like, track them down once they've, like, gone off to another group or whatever that is. So maybe even doing a post like that in Looney.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of people, like, maybe they might not be in your group anymore, you know what I mean? Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or just like a general post of, like, do you not know who to ask for help? In my getting started group too, I have a where to look for your upline elite. Because no matter what or who leaves, you'll always have that. It might change, but you'll always have that. And, like, who's your upline elite and how do you connect with that person? Because that's who would always be there to help you.
That's true. And you could try using Team Talk.
Yeah, I do that. I definitely do that a lot, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe like a Who's Your Mama post in Looney, since for the most part, everybody should be in that because that's our Black status page.
Right. Okay, I'll do that right now. Boom.
Mm. Yeah,
Do you think that would help? Melissa?
scary. Yeah, talking about what Sherry said, it's just very scary because it's just very scary. I don't want to say any more than that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It is scary. The first time I had people breaking off just green, and leaving, like, that part was hard, and at first I was like, oh no, you can stay as long as you want, who cares, whatever, but then, we had Looney, but then I had my own circle page, and then it was like, okay, well, I wanted to do incentives, but then they wanted to do incentives just for their team too, but then it was all in one, and like things like that was when I started to see like, oh, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
That we need a separate home or something, but it was so hard, and I was like, okay, you can spread your wings.
It's just,
but I felt so sad. What was that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. It's hard. It is hard. But it's okay. Okay, I'm going to make that post right now.
Okay, I gotta run. I've got to pack these bags before my kids get home because they don't know that we're going anywhere.
Where are you going?
We're going to go to Disney World for a day.
How exciting.
I have no idea.
Congratulations. That's so
We're going.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're going to Florida for a week, but we're going to go to Disney World for a day because my son turned 10. So that's his big birthday surprise that he's been waiting on. But they think this morning, y'all, I'm awful. I was like, all right, guys, I'm so excited for y'all to be out of school for spring break. We've got so much to do around this house. We're going to be able to get on top of this laundry. What do y'all need to get done in your rooms and stuff?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. But they were so gracious. They were like, Mom, I know that we need to feed the dogs and I'll do the dishes and stuff. I was like, y'all are going to make me cry. I feel really bad now.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay, Tess sent a message, but I don't know how to get it, so. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Chat, there's something in the. Tess said one of her girls is hitting green today. She made a big deal about how she's in Looney, and that's where they'll be. But oh, okay. So Melissa, that's Tess's. That's what Tess has done. So one of her girls is hitting green, and so for her team, she's made a big deal about how they all, will be out of her circle and in their own team page or whatever with their elite, but that they'll still be in Looney, and that's where Tess will be, and the whole team. And so then that's another good place where they can interact, of course, besides private messaging and all that. So maybe a blanket post like that too, like how Beth was saying too, is like, here's where you can find me, and here's where everyone should be, and stuff like that. That may be a good idea.
Awesome.
Okay, I posted the Who's Your Mama and Grandma post. If you guys want to jump over, that would be helpful for all of the leaders to comment on too, because your teams will see. They'll see you commenting, and they'll see, oh, okay, that's who these people are,
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it, so we can duck out of here. Have a great time, Melissa.
Thanks, dear.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.